You're watching The End Zone.
Welcome to this week's edition of The End Zone, along with Camryn Johnson and Josh Callaway. I am Colby Daniels. Football season is upon us. We are 1 week away from the college season getting underway, 2 weeks away from the state schools playing football here in the state of Oklahoma. I am geeked with excitement for the pigskin to start.
Yeah, same here. I only wish it would be a little bit cooler, but, you know, we never get that.
Small sacrifice for football, right?
At least there's entertainment again.
Colby and I, we're both big baseball guys, love baseball, but last weekend without football, it feels really good. It feels really good.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I mean, baseball is especially great during the football season because you can populate your weekday schedule with baseball, and then you get football on the weekends, and it's such a magical time of year. Plus, postseason baseball is fantastic. But we are right there at the start of football season. High school football getting underway, college football getting underway. Begrudgingly, as a Cowboys fan, the NFL is right around the corner, and I'm sure my Sundays will be miserable like they've been pretty much every year since the 90s. So, a lot to talk about. Speaking of misery, I think early in the week, a lot of OU fans felt some misery when John Mateer's name made the headlines. I mean, put this on the bingo card of things I was not expecting to pop up as we get ready for Oklahoma's kickoff and a rejuvenized offense, and I think John Mateer being some people's dark horse to win the Heisman Trophy. Even gambling in sports is probably the biggest no-no there is, right? You can kill somebody and be forgiven sooner than gambling on sports. It's wild.
Yeah, no. Whenever I first saw the news, my first reaction was, "There's no way." It just felt so on the nose. There's no way it could be real. And then all of a sudden, you see it there. Like, there's no way you're actually sports gambling and then being so open about it. But at the same time, it's so specific. Why? I don't think I'd make an inside joke that specifically says UCLA versus USC. The timing's suspicious, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, when it pops on Monday night, I think my initial thought was, does this matter? Is this something that we need to care about? Like, is this news? Richard Roten there was an offensive lineman with him at Washington State when John, obviously 2022, he was a true freshman at the time. He was redshirting at Washington State, and like you said, it's a complete no-no. It is. We saw it recently a couple years ago with Iowa State and Iowa. Hunter Deckers was going to be their starting quarterback that year, and his whole season got taken away. And so your mind goes to a dark place if you're an OU fan, like, oh no, did this all just get pulled out from us? If that's all there is, just those Venmos, which we have no reason to believe there's anything else, you're probably fine, right? How much can you really prove from a Venmo? But still, a scary week, I think, for Oklahoma fans. A scary week, a nervous week.
Unless his former teammate says, yeah, he gave me that money because we were gambling. I don't know how there's going to be any proof to ultimately hold John Mateer to some sort of standard, but obviously because of that topic, it's going to make people aware.
Sure.
I hope that this is something that goes away, but I think because of the topic, it probably will resurface at some point, and maybe the NCAA decides to take it upon themselves to they like to pick and choose what they want to get picky about, and this might be one of those things.
And obviously, John has denied, ever gambling on sports, and Oklahoma said there is no NCAA investigation. There's no reason to think there will be one. So, you're hoping that we're getting past it. That's the hope.
Statement on Twitter or X: the allegations that I once participated in sports gambling are false. My previous Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray the transactions in question, but were instead inside jokes between me and my friends. I have never bet on sports. I understand the seriousness of the matter, but recognize that taken out of context, those Venmo descriptions suggest otherwise. I can assure my teammates, coaches, and officials, this is the big one, at the NCAA, that I have not engaged in any sports gambling. Feel better about that?
We'll take it, right? I don't know.
Again, it's like, how do you really prove? You can put anybody who hasn't used Venmo, which a lot of people haven't. You can put anything,
right?
And so it's like, how do you really prove?
You never know.
You could write literally anything. So, if he denies it, I don't really know what else there is to it. If he says no,
I know I've seen a lot of Venmo transactions from people that have the most random things written, right? And you
emojis.
obviously know that it's not real, that somebody's writing something ridiculous just for the sake of being funny. So I don't doubt that probably happened with a guy that was, 18, 19 at the time.
True freshman.
So it totally makes sense. And again, the whole proof situation, I don't know how you can prove unless his teammate says, yeah, we did sports gamble. There's no way you can actually prove that that's what actually occurred. I saw this and immediately, because half of my timeline is filled with fake news anyway, like legit, like photoshopped AI type stuff. Yeah. I just assumed that's what it was, and I think it was the next day when I realized, oh, that was real, and I saw people talking about John Mateer deleting or making his account private.
That's when it kind of got real, when he scrubbed it a little bit. Because that's what a lot of people ask, like, why not just have it private in the first place? Which, you got to keep in mind, John was, again, true freshman. He went to a small high school. He was not recruited at all. It's probably unfathomable for him at that time that anyone would go digging through his old Venmos.
So betting is a big no-no in college athletics, but if you are going to bet, I've got some things that you should absolutely not bet on. Don't bet on these things in college football. Number one, OSU playing one quarterback.
100%. That'd be a terrible bet. Over under a quarterback and a half. Taking the over, pounding the over.
How about OU playing complementary football? It always seems like one side or the other is really good and the other one needs a lot of work.
I am not counting it out, but, I'd say you're probably right,
A complete game has eluded Oklahoma at times in the Venables era. We'll put it that way.
Don't bet on it. How about the return of Bedlam football?
Yeah, not anytime soon.
Sure, no.
Not anytime soon. Maybe in the 2030s, maybe, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
A very distant time from now.
Yeah.
Primetime Red River game.
Ooh.
Yeah, no chance.
No chance.
No chance. Never. You don't want that. That would be bad. You don't want that. Leave it there.
How about Eli Drinkwitz evicting Bob Stoops from living rent-free in his brain?
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet on that.
No way.
Exhausted from drink already. We've been in the SEC for a year. That trip, Missouri to Norman this year, I don't think it's going to be real kind. OU fans are not going to be real kind to our buddy Drink.
All right, don't bet on it. Iowa scoring touchdowns.
Yeah. They have a decent-looking quarterback, though. You've seen the practice footage. They're getting excited out there, Iowa.
How about safe roads in Athens, Georgia?
Yeah, they're not safe at all. No, that's never going to
So don't bet on that.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly's accent, certainly something you don't want to bet on.
No.
I would never bet on Lincoln Riley's barbecue. And just because I'm a very miserable Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm going to take every opportunity I can to take a shot at the dysfunction of my favorite team. Jerry Jones contract negotiations. Don't bet on it.
I'll join you on that. Yeah, he makes it tough sometimes.
Very, very tough. All right, we've got to take a timeout. We've got the AP Top 25 poll released. Is Oklahoma in the top 25 for the 26th consecutive season? And our college football playoff predictions next here on the End Zone. Welcome back to the show. We heard that Oklahoma did not make the coaches poll a couple weeks ago. The AP poll was released earlier this week. Let's take a look. We've got Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia as your top five. I do see some Oklahoma opponents in this top 25. Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami. That's 3 OU opponents just inside the top 10. 11 through 15, ASU, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, and Florida. There's 2 more Oklahoma opponents inside the top 15. SMU, Kansas State. Oklahoma appears at number 18 for the 26th consecutive season. They are in the AP poll. Texas A&M and Indiana. And then to wrap things up, 2 more OU opponents. Ole Miss at 21, Tennessee at number 24. So 7 overall top 25 opponents on Oklahoma's 12-game schedule.
And they've got a stretch of 5 straight ranked opponents at one point, I think, too. So it's not kind to them this year.
6 of the final 7 games are against
pretty crazy
AP ranked teams. Yeah,
even the tie for the most, the 7, and then Auburn and Missouri both got votes too. So they just missed the poll. 9 of the 12 games.
That's the preseason poll. So we are doing our college football playoff prediction. We all decided what the rankings might look like. We collectively put those together, and here's how it landed. Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas ultimately landed the top 4. I'll say this about putting my poll together. I think most years I feel like there might be one or two teams that clearly separate from the others. I kind of feel like this year there are enough holes in almost every team to maybe bring the top closer together than it's ever been.
I would agree with that. And I think that's why I enjoyed the current playoff format. I mean, you have so many teams that can do a lot, and I think that room for competition, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It feels like when I kind of was going through it, 1 through 8, 9, 10, there was quite a few teams that you could make an argument for, kind of being toward the top of this thing. It's kind of a little tough. Like you said, everyone has got holes to poke in them, all of the rankings right now.
I think, obviously strength of schedule is something that you look at and who plays who. Clearly in the SEC, there are some teams that have a pretty tough gauntlet, which factored in.
Yeah.
You look at Ohio State, though, I mean, they lost essentially everything.
Right.
But they might have the best player in college football
Right.
in Jeremiah Smith coming back. Georgia lost a lot. They bring in a lot of talent via the portal. I'm a believer in Arch Manning, by the way. I think he's going to be really good. Is he going to be really good this year immediately? I don't know. I mean, first-year quarterbacks starting at least don't necessarily just jump into it and have all the success in the world. So I think from a roster talent standpoint, Clemson and Texas to me might be the most just top to bottom talented football teams. I might throw Penn State in there too, but are they really going to win the big one? But there's Alabama, I think, has holes. Georgia has holes. Notre Dame. I think that I could probably talk myself into rearranging this in quite a few ways.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. The thing I like about Clemson, too, the schedule is nice. I mean, they open with LSU at home, but the ACC is very weak. I think they play SMU maybe in the middle, and you have South Carolina at the end, but otherwise, I mean, they're gonna be in the playoff. You could pencil them in.
Who's your champion?
I'm going to go Georgia as my champion. I had them over Clemson if you made me pick a final game.
Okay.
Like I said, Clemson
Bulldogs.
is in. Georgia, the only thing that really worries me is Gunnar Stockton good enough, but I've seen Georgia win natties with, okay quarterback play before. So, a couple years without a natty, they're due there in Athens. I go with Georgia.
Camryn, what do you got? National champion.
You know the saying, Ohio State doesn't rebuild, it reloads. I'm taking a gamble.
Okay.
Because I had it coming down to them in Texas, and, we can't pick Texas there, right? Yeah, so I'm going Ohio State. Repeat.
I went Clemson. I'm not happy about it, but I went Clemson. I mean, they are loaded on both sides, and I think in terms of overall production returning from last season among the Power Four conferences, they're third in the country, and you bring back a quarterback, 4 of 5 offensive linemen, playmakers everywhere, and maybe next to Oklahoma, the best defensive line in the country. They've got all the right, I think, pieces at least to equate to a title run, and they don't have to go through the SEC gauntlet.
Again, they're like 12-1 and like a 1 or 2 ranking, very much on the table for them.
All right, that's our college football playoff prediction. We'll take a timeout. Moving the Chains is next here on the End Zone. All right, welcome back to the show. It is time for Moving the Chains here on this week's edition of the End Zone, along with Josh Callaway and Camryn Johnson. I'm Colby Daniels. We're all familiar with the concept. You start with 1st and 10. I'm going to throw questions your way, or trivia questions your way potentially today.
Yeah,
and we'll see how well you do, and that's going to gauge whether or not you get a first down.
I kind of dominated this last week.
Camryn is the juror, by the way,
well,
today.
Now that you said that.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I got a did I get a touchdown last week? I think I did.
You did get a touchdown.
I at least got multiple first downs. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
On the,
I'm feeling good. Confident.
On the College Football Commissioner
That's right.
edition.
I had momentum.
You crushed it. You crushed it. Well, you may not have crushed it, but you at least had all the same ideas as I did, so I felt like you crushed it.
Yeah.
And maybe everybody else completely disagrees with us.
Right.
All right, first one out of the gate. This is trivia.
Let's do it.
Name the last 5 starting quarterbacks at Oklahoma, not including the 2024 season that just happened. Last 5 quarterbacks to start a game for OU.
Okay. Not including Jackson
Not
Arnold.
including the 2024 season.
Jackson Arnold, the bowl game in 23. Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
Davis Bevel.
Okay.
Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler.
Wow.
Hey, that was pretty
Big
confident.
time.
Wow.
Never a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, there we go. I was there for all
even
these,
tried to remove the 2024 season just to maybe throw off the Jackson Arnold thing, but I felt like you were going to clear the hurdle pretty easily.
No, that Alamo Bowl, that we remember. That was when we thought Arnold was like the next guy.
The savior,
Yeah.
Right.
That's a strong start. But just to humble you a little bit, I'm going to go 6-yard pickup.
That's
still
solid.
pretty
We'll take
confident.
that on first down.
Yeah.
We'll take
Hey, if you get 6 yards on first down,
Hey.
I don't think that's humble.
You take a shot on
that's
second down
You
now.
love it.
Yeah.
You are playing with house money at that point. Okay, using those same 5 quarterbacks, describe each of them with a Taylor Swift song title.
God.
Obviously, Taylor Swift back in the headlines on the Kelsey Brothers podcast.
All 5 of them.
Jackson Arnold, what do you got? Taylor Swift song title.
All right, well, I'm going to go each of those 5. I thought I went for material quick. That doesn't work. Jackson Arnold, oh my gosh. I'm going to go I Did Something Bad for him because it was just awful. And I think that goes without saying. It didn't work. Dylan Gabriel, let's go. Oh my gosh, this is tough. I'm trying to roll through some Taylor Swift songs in my head. I only know so many.
And I am a Taylor Swift fan. Not a Swiftie, a Taylor Swift fan. So just keep that in mind.
Let's go Dylan Gabriel, Shake It Off. He had a good run at OU, and then he went to Oregon and finished on a high note. Who was before him?
Davis Bevel.
Davis Bevel. Oh, God. That should have been I Did Something Bad. I've wasted it already. Davis Bevel. I'm doing I Did Something Bad for him. We'll circle back on Arnold. I'm stealing that. That was what I should have saved it for.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, let's go Love Story. It was awesome, and then they had a bad breakup.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Love Story for him, and then for, who am I forgetting? Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler. Let's go with Cruel Summer. Because I don't know why. I just thought it was the first one thought in my head. It kind of works. He had that one summer. We all thought he was awesome.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. You were circling back.
He was on the Netflix show that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That came out in the summer, and everybody was like, "Ugh, I don't know about this guy."
He had a good. He was the quarterback of the summer where everything went wrong for you. Had a bunch of guys get arrested.
That's right.
It was the whole thing. So
You know that.
we'll go with that.
All right, Swifty, what do you
think? I
think?
did the best I could.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared for 5.
You did pretty well, though. I'm going to give you 4 yards and a first down on that one.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Move the chains.
Very nice. Very nice. I was thinking Bad Blood for Jackson Arnold.
That's a good one.
For Caleb would have been good too.
I Knew You Were Trouble for Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, that would have been fair. That would have been fair because he had the off-field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davis Bevel could have been Blank Space.
That's the one I feel most confident with. I Did Something Bad because it was just all bad with our guy Davis.
You might have been taking a shot at the end zone if you were doing that.
Listen, I'm not a Swiftie either, but I'm not going to sit here and act like she doesn't have any jams. So
this is
good
true.
ones.
That's all I'm saying.
True,
That's all I'm saying.
Ones.
All right, we gave you OU quarterback trivia. Here's OSU quarterback trivia.
Yeah, this is going to be tough.
Name OSU starting quarterbacks since Brandon Whedon.
Since Brandon Whedon. All of them? There's got to be
as many as you can
them.
name.
Taylor Cornelius.
Ding, ding,
Spencer
ding.
Sanders.
Ding, ding, ding.
Who started last year? I can't remember who started last
which
year.
game?
Which one?
Yeah, no kidding. pick your game. Those are the first 2 that jumped to my mind because they were the last 2 Bedlam quarterbacks. Alan Bowman.
Alan Bowman, there you go.
Gotta get him in there.
Doing that, remember the gun celebration?
Yeah.
It's no longer legal in college football?
There you go. Since Brandon Whedon, there's Mason Rudolph was after Brandon Whedon.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Anyone else? Last chance?
Those are the big 4.
Okay, we got Dax Garman, Wes
I would
Lunt,
have never got that.
J.W. Walsh, Clint Shelf, Mason Rudolph, Taylor Cornelius, Drew Brown, Shane Illingworth, Spencer Sanders, Gunnar Gundy, come on, man.
Shane Illingworth.
Garrett Rangel,
yeah.
Alan Bowman, and Maya Luwaki Smith.
The truth is, OU stops playing them, and it's hard for me to keep up a little bit. With there's Bedlam. It's easy.
Last one, real quick. This is for all the marbles. Camryn, tell us what this is, based on his answer. If a turtle loses its shell, is it naked or homeless?
I think it's dead. I think it's dead is the answer.
Don't be that guy. You have 2 options.
The turtle
naked or homeless.
The shell is part of its body. It can't live.
Well,
I guess homeless of the 2.
That's not an option. Dead
I said
not an
I
option.
said homeless of the 2.
Okay.
I had to pick one, but it's neither. It's dead is the answer. Off the board. C.
You get to be judge.
man.
You're lucky I'm not the judge because that would be a turnover.
That was actually like an 80-yard touchdown.
The answer's naked, though, of those 2.
I don't think so because I think it is naked with the shell. I'm blowing your mind.
It's not in the. I mean, you could have a mobile home, I guess, but it moves around in its home, so those are its clothes. What do we think? Quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go loss of 1 there. Sorry.
Loss of 1. All right. Well, he did pick up a first down earlier in the segment, so
Yeah.
at least he got 1. All right, we're gonna wrap up the show. Top players in the state of Oklahoma, high school football, and where they're headed next here on the End Zone. All right, wrapping up the show this week as college football gets closer. High school football is upon us as well. This is a loaded class here in the state of Oklahoma. I would say the next 2 classes really in the state of Oklahoma are absolutely loaded with talent, and a lot of these players are headed to the next level.
Yeah, some really, really good players in Oklahoma. Like you said, especially this upcoming year that are seniors. So look at this. I mean, obviously, Oklahoma State's doing really well in-state as you'd expect. But Mason James from Norman North going to Washington, great wide receiver. Jayden O'Neal, who was an OU commit, quarterback to Mustang. Right. He's going to Florida State now. Adam Austin, who can get it done on the hardwood, too. Going to Arkansas, really good safety. Really, really good talent all over Oklahoma. And up in Tulsa and obviously here in OKC as well. And then you look at it again. Colton Yarbrough, good defensive end. Then you got 3 juniors there. Those are all highly, highly sought-after guys in 2027. Those 3 juniors right there at the bottom.
Oh, you in on any of those guys?
Especially all 3, but especially Cooper Hackett and Case Alexander. Very, very in on both.
Obviously, Arkansas landing 2 of the 2026 kids. Oklahoma State landing 3 of those 2026 kids. And it's pretty deep, again, beyond the top 10. I mean, the talent in the state of Oklahoma.
There's 30, 40 guys
this season.
There's a lot.
That's right. All right, we are done for the day. College football, the next time we do this show, I can't wait. For Josh Callaway and Camryn Johnson, I'm Colby Daniels. Have a great weekend.